Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, you're welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Today it's a special day because we have the gift of life. And when you have the gift of life, you should appreciate that it is special because there are many people that slept and did not wake up. So for those that are new here, please consider subscribing to this channel. And for the returning ones, welcome back. Welcome back. Now, it's it's a sad day in Kenya. As I say, it's a special day. It's a special day because of the gift of life, but it's a sad day in Kenya. Guys, do you know how many bodies have been exhumed? Exhumed. Do you know how many? Over 100 bodies so far. They're from that church, you remember? Guys, for those who do not know, there's a church in Kilifi that is let me say it's a cult where people have been fasting to death, and so many people have died. But why I'm doing this video is because though we thought these people have been brainwashed to a point of refusing to eat and fasting to a point of dying, I have come to realize that there are those that were told to have had um, what do you call it? They had signs of having been killed, hit with a sharp object, maybe on the forehead or something. As they said yesterday, though the autopsy has not been done yet, but there is rumors. They are not rumors. There may be evidence that some of these people were killed. Now, my question is, did these people fast to death, or some of them were killed? Or did they offer to be killed? You know, there were those that were being rescued and they were refusing to be rescued, and they were saying they are just about to go and meet their Jesus. So they did not want any rescue because actually their intention was to die in order to go to Jesus. And my question is, how about those bodies that are showing marks of torture and marks of being attacked or being killed, hit by some object? What happened to them? Is it that maybe they fasted and waited to die, but in the course of waiting, they were not able to die fast? Can I put it that way? They were not able to die fast. So what they did maybe is to ask, to permit somebody maybe to just finish up the job. Because I'm wondering, who is this who would have hit somebody who has fasted to death? So isn't it somebody maybe who has waited and waited enough and said, okay, I've waited and I'm not dying. So what I'll do is maybe somebody suggests, because you're not dying and you have fasted for so many days, why don't I help you go and see this Jesus of yours by maybe hitting you with a sharp object so that you die fast. I'm tending to think that this is what happened, and I don't want to, because we'll still get the evidence after the bodies have been taken for that procedure, which I don't know its name, where they are going to identify the cause of their deaths, and we will still be told. But as for now, my question is, surely, did you pastor want to sell some ideas to God's created people, that they should go and see God while you yourself is still on earth? Why do you want these people to go and see God? Why do you want them to die? What did you use to convince them? Because some of the people that I've heard are not even stupid, if I should say, or idiots. I have heard of some people that were learned. Like I heard of a travel agent that also died out of that. I've also heard of one who was an air hostess who died out of this cult's teaching about fasting to death in order to go and see Jesus. And let me ask you guys, what would make me, a grown person, be convinced by somebody who is alive to die? How can you convince me to die if I told you yourself is alive? And I'm grown and I'm not stupid. How will you convince me? There's something that we have not been told as yet, but I still hope that we'll be told, and we are gonna know. We will know what is happening, because there's so much that we have not been told about. There's so much that we have not been told about. When somebody tells you to fast to death, and let me also ask you, who is this who was issuing the death permits? Because in Kenya, I don't know if it is only in Kenya or it is in the whole world, when you die, when your person dies, you cannot just go and bury this person without the death permit. You have to have the death permit in order to take this step of burying somebody. So mine is to question and ask, what is this that made so many bodies be buried, over 100 bodies be buried? Was the government aware that people have died and that they needed to be buried? Who issued these death permits? Because it doesn't matter what part of Kenya you are in. To bury somebody, you have to have the death permit. And then maybe you can go for the death certificate thereafter. But the death permit has to be there in order for you to bury. So, let me tell you guys, it is not even the 100 bodies that we are talking about. There must be many more that we have not been told about. There are so many others that we have not been told about, and we are waiting to hear about. I'm squeezing that seat because it's hurting me. There are so many others that are still going to be exhumed, because there's no day that goes without being told 14 have been exhumed, 5 have been exhumed. The other day they exhumed 27. When we heard of 20, we screamed, but little did you know that we are going to get to 100. So who stops you from thinking that this number can even rise to 200? This is a very vast area. It's so vast that it's such a vast area, and I believe by the time they finish searching for the graves, they'll take some time. And every day you'll be hearing other bodies have been found. Other bodies have been found. So I'm asking, have we been in Kenya when these people were fasting to death and dying in these large numbers? Weren't there any Kenyans or any family members that could have raised an alarm, so that the government gets to know that there are some people that are somewhere following a certain cult and being told to die and go and meet Jesus? And Kenyans, why have you let us down like this? Why would you surely be this daft? This daft, I'm not sorry to say that, to even mention that word. Why would you be this daft? To be told by somebody to die. Isn't it God who created you? The day you are born, that is the day God indicated the day you'll die. So there's nobody who should decide for you to go and die earlier than God's day because of a certain Jesus that you are going to see. We will all see Jesus when he calls us home. And as Christians, we believe that. So I don't know why you should think or even try to imagine that you will go and see Jesus before the proper time that you are supposed to be called by God. What is this? If the person who is recruiting you to go and die is still alive, why do you want to go yourself? Why can't he die first so that we follow suit? Surely, guys, this story has just touched my heart in a very different angle, because 100 people is not a small number as for today. And maybe because I'm at the place of work, as you can see, when I go home and watch the news, maybe there are going to be more than that. So you don't know. You don't know how many more we are going to be told have died today or have been exhumed today. And as we talk, there are still some rescuers that are still going on with the rescue mission. And as it goes, these people are refusing to be rescued. They are saying they want to go and meet Jesus. What has he done to all these people, surely? The Mackenzie man, what has he done? Now, there's a new development that another pastor has been arrested. His name is Pastor Ezekiel, with a very large church in Kilifi or Malindi, I don't know. But this one of Pastor Ezekiel is even bigger. And if other things like those are unearthed there, if we get to know that there are some people that have died also at Pastor Ezekiel's church and maybe buried, then we are finished. We are finished. Whatever demons that are ruling in those areas of Kilifi and Malindi, those demons must be on another level because they have taken so many souls. Denominations have come and gone, but this particular one is one of a kind. Surely. How? How can somebody kill so many people, surely, and bury them in shallow graves? How? How? Now, families have continued reporting that their people have disappeared, or they disappeared many years ago. If this phone shuts down, I understand it's shutting down. Guys, this is very sad in Kenya, and please subscribe to this channel. We are going to continue with this story because we are not through if it shuts down right now, because it is indicating so. And guys, then we can see you in the next video. But it has told me it's shutting down. It's shutting down anytime. People have traveled from Western Kenya to go all the way to Kilifi, to go all the way to Malindi. And there's a house that was reported empty in Kilifi and has been, no, in Western Kenya, and has been empty for about 3 years. They say the owners just walked away and they don't know where they went. So it was said that they were going to a certain church in Kilifi or in Mombasa, but they never came back. So they showed us on TV that that home has been closed ever since, has been locked ever since. You could see the dilapidated house. You know, when you don't occupy a house, how the compound looks, how the house looks. Actually, you'll tell that it has been years. Now, if these people also went and traveled to Kilifi to go and see that Pastor Mackenzie person, then it means they also died and they were buried there. Can you imagine? And it is not one person, a whole family, because the house is still locked. How many other cases have we not been told about? How many other cases have not been reported? Because sitting here, I'm thinking that this is just a time bomb. We are going to hear more. And it is going to be very, very sad. Guys, what is this? What is happening? How many people have lost their loved ones and maybe have been thinking they went to Mombasa, they'll still come one day, or they relocated, yet they are in the grave somewhere in Kilifi, having died. You don't know whether they were killed or they were told to go and fast and die in order to meet their Jesus. And if God, our Jesus, gave us this life to live, why do we again want to go and die? If Jesus gave us this life that we may live it, why do we want to die? I thought we are supposed to pray for a longer life, all of us. And the Bible says we should pray, that teaches us to pray that God should give us many more years to live on this earth, to see the goodness of the Lord in this land of the living. To see the goodness of the Lord. Why don't we want to see the goodness of the Lord? Do you know that we can only see the goodness of the Lord in this earth? When we go up there, we'll sing for our Lord and our Master all the eternity. We shall never die, neither shall we tire, neither shall we lack, neither shall we go hungry. But surely, does God, what is the yardstick? Is the yardstick to go and hunger, die of hunger in order to go and see our Jesus? The Bible tells us that we should see the goodness of the Lord in this land of the living. This land of the living. Why should somebody teach me to go and die in order to go and see Jesus? I need to see the goodness of the Lord in this land of the living. Who is this that is telling you otherwise? Don't you want to live long on this earth? Guys, this thing has killed Kenyans. The government is confused. Everybody is confused. No one knows what is eating what. Who is eating who? No one knows. But anyway, as days go by, we are going to unearth, the government is going to unearth so many details that we will be shocked. In fact, I hear that that same pastor said, you haven't seen anything. I thought I had seen it all. He said, you people think that you have seen it all. You are going to see much more. So I'm imagining what is this that he's promising that we are going to see. Much more than we have seen. Bodies in bags, body bags, lining up every day, lined up every day on the ground. Those that have been exhumed. Is this what you are telling us, that we are going to see many more? Surely. What is this that you are doing to people? Why are you killing God's people? God is the only one who gives life, and he's the one who should take with life. No one else should take life. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you are a pastor, whether you are the government, whether you are, if the government eradicated the death sentence here in Kenya, who are you to take people's lives? Who are you as a pastor? And many other things that we have heard you do. You shave people and you take those hairs to places to go and tell them that so many things about them. You do so many things, especially to women. Especially to women. And I believe those bodies, we'll get to know how many male and how many female they were. But I believe that the most of those bodies are female. I believe so. You know, we women, we have got a softer heart. And the devil takes advantage of us because of our softness.